Hey guys, if you like this content, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys like the video and subscribed to my channel. It helps make these videos worth it going forward. Hey guys, Altcoin Sherpa here with a crypto market review. Today I'm going to be discussing BTC and maybe Ethereum. As always, this is not financial advice. I am not an expert. Do your own research. Okay, so we're seeing green across the board right now for altcoins and BTC as well, but or not really BTC, but more ETH and many other alts. As of right now, I'm still very worried. I don't really know if this is the bottom or not. I think it's quite possible that this is a bearish retest. Excuse me. I wanted to highlight first the this is a Twitter thread from Cold-Blooded Schiller, and I'll link it in the show description so you guys can take a look, but it gave a lot of food for thought. This was the big bull run up in 2017. What we saw was a kind of bullish consolidation block over a several week period in the kind of summer of 2017. And before the big run up, price went up to 5,000 and then dumped all the way down to 3,000. And this was a 40% drop from high to low. And price quickly rebounded very quickly overall over the next few weeks, and still maintained a bullish market structure on the 1 week. It still had higher lows, and just obviously, you know, the rest. I mean, it went several X and then went to hell. This is a very interesting perspective overall, and it also shows the context of how bad that price can dip right now and still maintain a bullish structure. You know, as I said before, negative 40% from high to low, quick recovery though, and then price just continued higher. What we're seeing right now is we're seeing this kind of market top price action overall, where I mean, this, in my opinion, is not indicative of bullish accumulation. I explained that in the last video and across some of my recent Twitter posts as well, so check those out. But this isn't really accumulation, in my opinion. I mean, this is, there's a lot of volatility, lots of sell volume. Just, you can see crazy price action just going in both directions. That's usually not a sign of accumulation on a bullish standpoint, and this to me looks more like a short-term top. Cold-Blooded Schiller, again, give him a follow on Twitter. It gave me a lot of food for thought that I wanted to investigate a little bit more. Kind of talked about this bullish consolidation area that we saw in January, around 38K to 30,000 or so. And it's quite possible that this makes its way down there. I'm not saying it's not. You know, personally, I was hoping that 45K would hold, and it's certainly possible that it does. 45K will be the next level up. It's a strong weekly support area that has not been tested in quite some time. But if this area does fall, then I'm expecting 30 to 35,000. You can see more too in terms of volume profile of kind of the area that I'm targeting. As you can see, anywhere from 38 to 30,000 is the region that I would be looking for. 40,000 or 45,000 would be the next area up. If this 45,000 area falls, but let's just take it level to level. You know, as I said before, the Cold-Blooded Schiller thread just really gave me some perspective in general. It was a good, refreshing thing to remind myself too that price can still go negative 40%, and it's still a bullish structure on the 1 week, in my opinion. I mean, it's still going to form a higher low. So even if you see something like this and then form this base and then can chop around a little bit more and then go make a push up to 70 or higher, maybe 80 or 100. Crypto always moves faster than you think as well. But this, to me, would be an interesting perspective if price did something like this. Overall, again, I'm still taking it level to level. I am not calling for the 30Ks quite yet, but it must be something that remains in your mind as a possibility. And what happens if 45K gets lost? Then I expect a lot of capitulation for altcoins. I mean, altcoins will go another negative 40% in my opinion, if not more, if that happens. And it'll depend on the altcoin in general too. I'm going to go and look a little bit further at some of these alt USD pairs back in 2018, 2019, and 2020 as well, to just see the structures around the springtime. Because I mean, as I have long thought, I always thought that altcoins would do pretty well in the spring, and I just need to see the structures. But anyways, I'm getting a little off topic. As I said, 45,000 is the next level up. There should almost certainly be support on this first bounce. If you're looking for a good SR level, I mean, this 45K level, in my opinion, would be the logical area. 45K is this weekly level, and it is also the last demand area before price went higher. So everything still looks fine to me. But if 45 gets lost, and the mid 30s is kind of like the area that I'm targeting next. Now, as I said, my overall bias is still bullish in general. That thread really did give me some good perspective too. It just reminded me that price always goes lower and higher than you think it will. So I think I had it in my mind that 45,000 was really the level to look for. But I mean, there is a price void between kind of this 40,000 to 45,000, and price might eventually fill that out. So what you'd see is spike down and then grind through this kind of area. Now, if we see the spike down, I do expect there to be heavy buyback. I do expect there to be a good support area in general. As I said, there's going to be a lot of buy orders in this area. There should be a lot of liquidity, in my opinion. And I guess we'll see, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to put some spoof orders down in this area and just kind of see. But as I said before, 45,000 is really the level that I'm watching right now. And I do think that price looks like it's going to head there. Eventually, I'm not sure when. I mean, I do think that there will be I still think there's going to be a short squeeze that will happen here. I mean, it looks like price is forming this like short-term bottom right now. It wouldn't surprise me at all to see something like this, where we see kind of price go from this current level around 51K, spike up to like 54, and then head lower. It wouldn't surprise me at all. I think there's a lot of late shorters that will get messed up here. They'll get trapped. I just briefly wanted to look also at this other chart and explain my thought process. I posted this before as well, but I can go a little bit more into it. This is a chart I posted on Twitter before. You can see here on February 22nd, price makes this spike down at 46.6K right here. And usually when you see price finding this bottom, there's a lot of volatility, and this is the 6 hours. So if you scale down to lower time frames like the 5 minute, 1 minute during this time, that's actually quite a bit good experience when you are watching charts and watching the reaction. You can also look at the tape and look to see what the orders look like as well. But usually what you'll see price grinding, big impulse move down, and then once it finds its bottom, it usually takes a little while. Sometimes it'll swing past lower. You'll see price grind back up, and then it will come back lower to come back to some of the previous levels. It'll either make it'll swing failure pattern down and then go back up higher, or it will just stay down there. What we saw here is we saw price have this mark this low, and I'll mark it here. Grind back up, good reaction, and then it returned to these lows again, and again grinded up and hit a bearish retest and head lower. And there's a lot of liquidity usually underneath these key swing low levels because people think that price is just going to go to like 25,000 or 20,000 or 10,000. Like, you know, people are very bearish at the bottom usually. So you'll see a lot of late shorters here that get trapped, and then price goes back up after it reclaims that level. What we're seeing here is I still believe that we are going to hit this like 53 kind of K area. Personally, I think that there's going to be some late shorters here that won't like this current or that will get trapped. We'll see a spike up to 53 and then potentially head lower. 54K, as I said, is the region that I'm really targeting right now. I do expect there to be some support there, and if 50 or 45K gets lost, then I do believe that the mid 30s is the area that I would be targeting, as I said before. But I just wanted to further highlight this infographic that I made before. And there's really a lot of value in looking at price when it's really dumping hard too, like in the live action, in terms of what it all looks like and how price reacts. I mean, again, we can even go back to, let's just go quickly into the 5-minute here. And this is like where also the real good stuff is usually found as well. If you look on lower time frame charts, just looking to see bottoms, I mean, you can see these short-term bottoms that are marked, but price really is not done dumping. And once it finds this bottom, as I said before, price will grind up and then almost always come back close to these levels again, and then go higher. Yeah, I'm not going to go too far into this. This is just a crypto market review. I'm not going to go into like low time frame price action. I think this is very valuable to look at, but this is not the right context to discuss this type of these concepts. But anyways, my best advice would just be to look closely at low time frame charts and really trying to see what levels are being held and why price is reacting the way it is. So overall, what am I trying to say? In summary, I believe that 45,000 is the next level up. I do believe that price will hit that eventually. I do think that price will go to 53K or so before that time, and then hit 45K. And then we will see if 45K gets lost, then the mid 30s are coming. I don't believe that altcoins are truly going to run until Bitcoin finds a bottom. Now, whether that bottom is 45,000 or if it's 35,000 or even now, I can't tell you for sure. There will be a big sell-off point for altcoins, though. I don't believe that we are out of the woods yet. I do think that if Bitcoin makes another leg down, then altcoins are really going to suffer. So if I were trading right now, if I were you, I would keep my trades pretty quick, like maybe a day or less, and just go with lower time frames in general. Because even though we see green across the board today, I'm not really quite sure this is the bottom. So stay safe out there, guys, and good luck.